Nintendo is having their summer sale on the eShop, and I went through the list of all the games that are available on the sale and found 52 games that are worth checking out on the Nintendo Switch. Now, I know a lot of people have been complaining that they don't have games to play on the Nintendo Switch 2s, so if you have a Nintendo Switch 2 and you're interested in any of the games on the list, this is a good way to fill up that library if your library is pretty small right now. Also, the sale is running from right now through July 9th, so you need to make sure that you pick up any of these games that you see on the list before then. I left off a couple of the games because they just didn't seem super interesting to me personally, but I didn't have to take that many off. There's a lot of bangers in this list, so let's get into it. So let's start with the Nintendo first party stuff. We have first off Animal Crossing. You can buy the game as well as the DLC either as a bundle or separately, and the base Animal Crossing coming in at 30% off and $42. I mean, this is kind of a no-brainer if you don't have Animal Crossing. What a fantastic game. I mean, you could spend hours and hours playing Animal Crossing and never get bored. Like, this game is just so freaking good. I put 400 hours into my island on Animal Crossing. It's just a great time, and getting the DLC, which I actually didn't play on sale, is something that is pretty enticing if you don't have NSO. Next up, we have Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. This one is awesome because you get two games. You get the Mario 3D World that is a port of the Wii U game, but you also get Bowser's Fury, which is really what I think is the meat and potatoes of this game. I absolutely love Bowser's Fury. It is such a good 3D Mario experience. I 100% it. It was so much fun, and this one's coming in at $40 at 33% off. Next up, we have Link's Awakening, which is the remake of the classic Zelda game, and man, I really like this port. It looks so good. It did get an update on the Nintendo Switch 2, so a lot of the issues it was having on the Switch 1 have been resolved, and this one is coming in at $42 and 30% off. I love this game. I couldn't put it down on the Switch 1. I played it all the way through. It took me about anywhere from 10 to 15 hours. I don't remember exactly how much time I put into this one, but man, is it a good time, and I really, really like the art style they went with. Mario Odyssey is also on sale. I mean, if you don't have Mario Odyssey, what are you doing? This game is just phenomenal. What a fantastic 3D platformer, and just all the different stuff you could do with Cappy, whether putting it onto like Goombas or Chain Chomps or the T-Rex even. I mean, this game looks awesome. This also did get an update to make it look better on the Switch 2, which is absolutely awesome. So definitely worth picking up, and this one's at $40 at 33% off. Luigi's Mansion 2 is also available right now on sale. This one's coming in at $42, 30% off, and this is the remake of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon on the 3DS that they ported over to the Switch 2. A little different than what you got in Luigi's Mansion and Luigi's Mansion 3, but still a really solid entry in the franchise nonetheless. I'm a really big fan of Luigi's Mansion. I'm a really big fan of Halloween, so Luigi's Mansion is one of my favorite franchises from Nintendo, so I'm a big fan of this one, and I recommend you pick it up, but it is available at that discounted price, and I really like that. Nintendo World Champions is next up. This one is coming in at $21 and 30% off. Really nice game. I never actually picked this one up. It looks like you do a bunch of challenge runs of some classic Nintendo games, and that seems pretty cool, actually. There's leaderboards and stuff. I think that's a really interesting concept for a game, so I think this is a pretty cool one. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is available. You can also get the expansion pass in this discount, and this game I have not personally played. The only Xenoblade game that I have played is Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which I absolutely loved, but I am keen on picking up the other Xenoblade Chronicles games for my Switch, but I personally want the physical edition. So while the sale is nice, it's not something I'm necessarily interested in picking up right now, but this is coming in at $42 and 30% off. I have heard that the Xenoblade games are running better on the Nintendo Switch 2, so if you have a Switch 2, might be worth picking up these games on sale. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope is available, and this one, it might be the biggest discount of all for the Nintendo first party games anyway, and this one's coming in at $15 at 75% off, which is really good price for this game. This game is really good. I did not enjoy it as much as the original Mario and Rabbids, but regardless of that fact, it's still a really solid entry in the franchise, and one at 15 bucks I can't recommend you pick up enough. Next up, we have Switch Sports. I mean, you already know what this is all about. Everybody and their mother played Wii Sports. It's the same thing, but over on the Switch. Couple different game modes available in this one, and I have have had a great time with Switch sports. I really enjoy this particular game. It's coming in at $28 with 30% off. I think it's a really solid pickup. I've had a lot of fun playing it. It is a little off-putting that the characters aren't Mii's. I just don't know why they went that route instead of bringing the Mii's back like they did for Wii Sports, but you know, it is what it is. It's still a fantastic game, and I do really enjoy it. The final Nintendo first-party game is Xenoblade Definitive Edition. This one's coming in at $42 and 30% off, and again, I love Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and I plan to pick up the other Xenoblade games, but I want those physical copies, so I'm gonna let this one sit. But definitely, if you don't have it, worth picking up on the eShop right now. So now we're gonna migrate into the third-party titles that are on sale right now in this summer sale, and there are a lot of good ones. I actually ended up buying a couple of them because there's some bangers on this list. First up, we have Hello Kitty Island Adventure, and say what you will, you know, it's Hello Kitty, but this game actually looks cool. It is $32 at 20% off, and it reminds me of Animal Crossing with a little bit extra to do. It looks like there's a lot going on in this particular game. The art style is very bright and colorful. I can only imagine how good that would look on the Switch 2 screen. All in all, I think this looks like a really solid game. If you're into those cozy kind of life sim games, this looks like a really solid option. Then you have EA Sports FC 25. You know what to expect out of the EA Sports games. This one's coming in at $18 at 70% off, so a pretty good deal on that one. Next up, we have Skyrim Anniversary Edition. I don't think I need to say a whole lot here. It's Skyrim. It's definitely worth picking up if you don't have access to it. $28 and 60% off. You can also just buy the base game of Skyrim, and I think that's a little bit cheaper, but all in all, Skyrim definitely worth having on your system. And you can also purchase the upgrade for Skyrim if you already have the base version and you want the Anniversary Edition that adds some extra content into the game. You can pick that up. That is also on sale right now. Next up, Just Dance 25. I'm not a Just Dance guy. I don't really move and groove like that, but I will say it's a very popular franchise. A lot of people really enjoy it. My wife enjoys Just Dance. You know, it's available, and it is coming in at $25 at 50% off. Pretty decent price. 50% off. We'll always take that. It Takes Two is one that I'm actually kind of keen on picking up. This isn't one on this list that I've actually bought already, but I am interested in picking this one up and playing with my wife. This one's coming in at $20 at 50% off. I think this is a really good price point, and I'm actually like heavily considering picking this one up and playing with my wife on our Switch 2s. I've heard such good things about it. I've heard it's a fantastic game, and it won Game of the Year a few years back. I'm really keen on it. I think I'm actually going to end up picking this one up. I think it's a steal of a deal for 20 bucks. Disney Dreamlight Valley is on sale as well, and I've played this game. Again, if you're into those cozy life sim games and you want some Disney characters, this game is really fun. I did just cover this in the video where I tested a bunch of Switch 1 games on Switch 2, and this game did get some improvements on the Nintendo Switch 2. Not a ton. It is still a little stuttery like it was on the Switch 1, so if you're picking this up on Switch 1, just be aware there are some performance issues, but it's still a playable and enjoyable experience on the Switch 1, and I played it entirely on the Switch 1, so really cool game to add to your library, again, if you're into those cozy style games. Continuing on with cozy style games, we have My Sims. This is coming in at $25 and 38% off. I don't really think I need to go into detail about The Sims. Everybody knows what The Sims is all about, so pick that up if you're into it. Sunderfolk is one that I would love to get eventually. I think this game looks super freaking cool. I just don't know that I have enough people to actually play the game with to get the most enjoyment out of it. So Sunderfolk is basically a game that takes the tabletop strategy games and throws it into a video game, and you use your cell phone actually to control your character. You can play with 4 other people, and you can play online versus in person and group up and play through these missions and stories. It looks so freaking cool, and it's one that I really want to get around to trying. And at $40 and 20% off, I think it's worth picking up if you're into those tabletop strategy games like Dungeons and Dragons and things of that nature. This is a really sick game, and I cannot recommend you give it a go enough. I am so keen to pick this one up. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, fantastic game. I've put so many hours into Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak on my original Switch, and if you have a Switch 2, I've heard it's running even better there, and I think at this price point you get the base game of Monster Hunter Rise and you get the DLC of Sunbreak, and that is a $20 pickup on the Nintendo Switch summer sale right now at 71% off. I mean, that is a banger deal. You should definitely be picking that up if you're a Monster Hunter fan. Sonic X Shadow Generations is on sale on the Nintendo Switch. This is coming in at $42 at 30% off. Let me double check actually if this is on sale on Switch 2 as well. Okay, it looks like it's only the Switch version that's on sale, which I think is a really interesting choice, but Just note, if you are picking this game up for your Switch and you are planning to get a Switch 2 down the line, this game doesn't have an upgrade path. You have to buy the game again for the Nintendo Switch 2 version, which is super annoying. This looks like a great game. I have heard it has issues on the Nintendo Switch versus the Nintendo Switch 2 version is very much improved. But again, this sale is only for the Switch version. It's coming in at $42, 30% off. Very weird that they didn't just put the Switch 2 version on sale as well, but it is what it is. Sega has made some interesting choices after this launch regarding their games on the Switch hardware, whether it be Switch 1 or Switch 2, so little odd there. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 is on sale as well. This one's coming in at $20, 60% off. If you're into Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, you know that the new game is coming out next month. If you don't have access to this one, $20 is a pretty good price for these two games. Next up is Cult of the Lamb, one of my favorite indie games of all time. Absolutely love Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Lamb and all of its DLC are on sale, but you can pick up just base Cult of the Lamb at $13, 50% off. Think those cozy life sim games, but add a little bit of a roguelite element to it, and instead of building up this city and having a bunch of friends, you're building a cult, and it is just super fun. It is such a fun game, and my wife actually loves this game a ton. She's been playing it a bunch on her Switch 2, and it did get some improvements on the Nintendo Switch 2 as far as performance goes compared to the original Switch. I played the game all the way through on the original Switch, and I had no issues. There was some like random stutteriness here and there, but overall it was a pretty smooth experience. But it is playing better on the Switch 2, and it is such a fantastic game, so you guys should definitely check that one out. Persona 5 Royale. Everybody says this game's great. I've not played any Persona game, but it is coming in at $21 at 65% off. That's a pretty good deal. I mean, this game has won some like just huge ratings along the way, great reviews. This game has got a lot of praise. So if you're into that style of game, $21, pretty good price. Enter the Gungeon. I like this game. I have this game on Switch. It's a great time, and this one is at a really, really solid price point. This is $3.75 at 75% off. Just a fantastic game. It's just really fun. You go through and it's just kind of, it reminds me of things like Vampire Survivors, but have the roguelite element to it. I mean, it's just really good. It's a really good game, and I recommend you guys pick it up. Yakuza Kiwami is on sale as well. This one's coming in at $14 at 30% off. Classic Yakuza beat 'em up style game. You know, I've not played the Yakuza games. I didn't even know there was another Yakuza game on the Nintendo Switch. I thought Yakuza 0 was the first one on the Nintendo Switch 2. So kind of interesting to see, but this one is on sale and you can pick it up. I've heard great things about the franchise. I just haven't personally gotten around to playing them. Dragonball FighterZ is available on the Nintendo Switch. This one's coming in at a reasonable price as well at $9.59. This is an 84% off sale. If you're into fighting games and like Dragon Ball, this one's worth picking up. No More Heroes 3 on sale right now, $25, 50% off. I've always liked the art style of the No More Heroes games. I've just never actually gotten around to playing any of them. They look really, really cool. It's just not something I've gotten around to doing. TMNT Shredder's Revenge Ultimate Edition is on sale, and I can safely say that you should pick this one up because I have the physical version of TMNT Shredder's Revenge, and this game is awesome. It's like a classic arcade Ninja Turtles beat 'em up game. Oh man, such a good time. Cannot recommend that one enough. $23.10, 30% off on that one, and it has all the DLC included because it is the Ultimate Edition, so definitely worth picking that one up. Megaman Battle Network Legacy Collection is available right now, $30, 50% off. This has like 10 games in it, so if you're into this Mega Man franchise, particularly the Battle Network games, 10 games, that's quite a bit, and for $30, I think that's a pretty reasonable price point. Freedom Wars Remastered coming in at $30, 25% off. This game, I believe, was a PS Vita game because I played this game before. I want to say it was Vita. Let me double check that. It was on the Vita. That is where I played this game, and honestly, this game was kind of cool. It reminds me of Monster Hunter. To some degree, you're fighting these big giant monsters. I don't even remember what they're called at this point, but the game was really cool, and the remaster looks very crisp. Really liked this game when I played it back on Vita. It's been so many years since I've actually played it. I was back in high school, and that's been such a long time now. So yeah, this game was really cool then, and at $30, I think it's pretty reasonable. The Monster Hunter Stories collection is also on sale. You can get Monster Hunter Stories 1 and Monster Hunter Stories 2 bundled into one for $40 at 42% off. These games are pretty cool. If you like Monster Hunter, but you're looking for a more cartoony style and more story driven than what you get in normal Monster Hunter. This game focuses on monster riders versus monster hunters, so you're collecting and riding the monsters in the Monster Hunter universe. It's a really cool concept, and it reminds me a lot of Pokemon and how it actually plays. Really cool franchise, and for 40 bucks picking up both games, pretty solid. Sonic Superstars Deluxe Edition, another Sega game here, another Sonic game. This is more akin to stuff like Sonic Mania and the 2D Sonics, where it's more side-scrolling versus the 3D that you get with Sonic Generations. And $28, 60% off. Worth picking up if you're into Sonic. Slay the Spire. Now, I have not personally played this game, but the sale on this game entices me. I have not personally played it. It's like a deck building roguelike where you ascend the spire, see how far you can get kind of deal, and you get new cards. You're able to change your deck out, and that changes how you attack in battle. Really interesting looking game, and coming in at $8.50 at 66% off. This might be one that I actually end up picking up before this sale goes away. The Plucky Squire. This is a really cool looking game. Reminds me of those top-down Zelda games like Link's Awakening, but it has 2D elements as well as 3D elements. I think that's really interesting. Coming in at $21 and 30% off. And this game is actually getting a free update I saw on Twitter where it's adding like a hard mode, some additional challenges, and some new content. So this one might be worth snagging while it's on sale right now. Travis Strikes Again, another No More Heroes game. I haven't played this, but it's coming in at $15 and 50% off. Again, looks cool. I just haven't gotten around to playing any of this franchise. Dark Souls Remastered, $20, 50% off. This game was great on the Switch. If you have a Switch 2, it's running even better. I talked about it in that video where I tested 47 Switch 1 games on Switch 2. Game's running even better, but it played fine on the Nintendo Switch. So if that's what you still got, you're still rocking an OLED or even the base model Switch, the game played just fine there as well. So worth picking up at 20 bucks. Disney Illusion Island is one that I've been interested in picking up. I believe there is a physical version of that particular game, so I personally want to get that. But I've heard fantastic things about this game. It's a Disney platformer, much like Rayman Origins and things of that nature. Coming in at $21 and 30% off. This game actually has so much character. It's different designs for the classic characters like Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy, but it just looks so good, and I've heard fantastic things. I really want to pick this one up, but again, I think there's a physical version floating around out there, and I want to pick that one up instead. Deadly Premonition 2 is available. This is $25, 50% off. I don't have a whole lot to say on this game. Honestly, the trailers were not that great for this particular game when it was originally announced on Switch. I don't know how it's running on Switch 2. It just looked super choppy and kind of meh on the original Switch, so I didn't end up picking it up then, and I'm not super interested. The trailers are kind of wonky and all over the place. Not something that I'm super keen on, but I've heard people like this series, so I included it on this particular list. The same can be said for the next game. I've never played any of them in the franchise, but it's something that they keep making more of and people seem to really like, and that's Layton's Mystery Journey. This is like a spin-off where you play as Professor Layton's daughter. This is coming in at $24 and 40% off. Again, I haven't played this particular series, but everybody seems to like them that have played them, so I figured I'd include it on the list. Metal Slug Tactics. This one actually looks pretty cool. It gives me like a combination of like Fire Emblem combat, but more in like a war zone, like military combat setting. It looks pretty cool actually, coming in at $17.50 at 30% off. This one might be worth grabbing if you're into those more tactical style games like Fire Emblem and things of that nature. Plants vs. Zombies Batter for Neighborville. That is a mouthful to say, let me tell you. This game is actually fun. I've played it on other platforms. This is at $8.80 at 78% off. It's actually a pretty fun game, and at that price point, I could say you should pick it up on the Switch. It's actually a pretty solid game. Signalis is one that I literally had never heard of until I was prepping to make this video. But it actually looks kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie to you. It comes in at $14 and 30% off, and this game kind of gives me like sci-fi Resident Evil 1 vibes. It just looks super interesting, and I kind of dig it. I've been considering picking this one up, but yeah, it's weird. I'd never heard of it, but it looks super cool. Doom Eternal's one on this list that I did actually pick up. I'm a huge fan of the new Doom games, and I did not have this particular one on my Switch yet, and at $10, I mean, what are you doing? You gotta pick up Doom Eternal on the Switch at that price. 75% off for this particular game. Absolutely love the Doom franchise. I just played Doom the Dark Ages. Really enjoyed that, so I've been kind of in the mood for Doom, and I at $10, I'm picking Doom Eternal up on my Switch. Ori and the Blind Forest, fantastic platformer. This one is actually coming in at a really solid price at $6.50, 67% off. This is a really awesome game, fantastic visual style, fantastic platformer, and at that price point, you should really get in on it. I really would recommend it. Crash Bandicoot Crashiversary Bundle is available at $40 and 60% off. Pick this up. You get a lot of games. You get how many games? 5 games total. You get Crash 1, 2, 3. You get Crash Team Racing, and you get Crash 4 for that price. Really fantastic bundle there. Can't recommend that one enough. 9 Souls. This is another one that I had not heard of. Well, I've heard of it and I heard good things about it, but I've never actually seen gameplay of until I was prepping for this video. This game actually looks sick. I'm not gonna lie. This game looks so cool. This is coming in at $21 and 30% off. It's got this really awesome art style and you're like this like samurai cat thing. I don't know. It looks sick. I absolutely love the style of this particular game and I'm really considering picking this one up. River City Girls 2, another beat 'em up game on the list, very similar in the style of gameplay that you got from TMNT Shredder's Revenge. It just a beat 'em up game, and I've heard good things about this game. I have not played this game, but I've heard really good things about this game from multiple outlets. $20, 50% off. I figured I'd include it because of all the good things that I heard about it. If you're into beat 'em up style games, it looks pretty cool. So it is here and available if you're interested. Super Bomberman R2. This is $30 and 40% off. I've not played Super Bomberman at all, but I know people really like Super Bomberman, so I threw it on the list, and at 30 bucks I think that's pretty reasonable for what you get out of it. Just from the gameplay that I've seen of this particular game, I feel like there's enough content there to justify $30. So it's there if you're interested. Again, I haven't played the franchise. Let me know in the comments below if I should play the franchise, but yeah, it's there. Disco Elysium, the Final Cut. I've heard good things about this particular game, and honestly, I dig the art style of it. I just have no clue what this game is about based on any of the trailers or anything that I've seen for this game. It almost looks like more of a narrative driven game where you're making choices that affect the world around you. I genuinely don't know. It has a really unique style about it that piques my interest, but it's never made me actually pull the trigger on it. This one's coming in at $12 and 70% off, so if you're interested or have been waiting to pick this one up, that's a pretty reasonable price right there. Star Wars Dark Forces Remastered. I didn't know this game existed, and I bought it because this is Doom but Star Wars, and I am all about that. I mean, that is so freaking cool. You play at, like, oh man, the blasters, and you're fighting stormtroopers, and it's in the classic Doom style. I'm all over it. I don't know how I missed this game over the years. I don't know how I missed it. I am all over this. $16.50, 45% off. This game looks sick, and I definitely picked it up. The final game on the list is What the Golf. This game's been out for a while, and it's just this really goofy and wild indie game where you are doing different mini games that are golf related and golf adjacent. Really cool game, really cool looking game. I have not played it personally, but man, for 10 bucks, I'm kind of considering it. It looks awesome. Let me know in the comments below if I should pick it up. But that is it for the games that I thought looked cool and I've heard are good that I wanted to include in the list. Again, this summer sale is going to be ending on July 9th, so make sure that you pick up any of these games that you're interested before then. But that is going to be it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, leave a like, comment, and subscribe because it helps me out, helps the video out, and helps the channel out immensely. And I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.